All right, I'm actually gonna voice over on this one so we can have a look at my build quickly. Let's have a look at my passives, okay? First of all, really with trying to focus on vitality and intellect there. Vitality, minion crit, attack speed, some... Eh, it's probably okay. I mean, I could probably maybe swap them out for additional vitality. Necromancer, buffing up our health, vitality there. Yeah, pretty standard. Some water retention. Damage redirected to lowest health minion. That is for survivability, really. Shared critical strike chance. Putting more points into this one as I level up. Got the 3-point bonus there for increased attack speed minion. Leech is actually pretty useful for minions, I find. And then in Lich, we're just going intelligence there. The 7-point bonus gives us increased armor, 50%. Got a bit of extra vitality there. This also gives us Aura of Decay, which is what's really important for this build. Okay, let's have a quick look. Oh, I got 2 additional skills here, do I? Doesn't really matter where I put them, to be honest. I'll chuck one in there and... no, additional frenzy, cast speed, extra projectile. Let's chuck damage. Alright, so we're just using skeleton mage. I mean, pretty all standard. We're going into the pyromancers because this is a fire build. We're also using grave passage, which is our traversal skill. Then we go into aura of decay. Now, the only reason this works in this build is because of these boots, Ash Wake. Aura of Decay is converted to fire, inflicting ignite instead of poison. Very, very big, very important. Also, your Volatile Zombies, which explode inside your Aura of Decay, have a 20% chance to resurrect. So that's what makes this build much more fun. If you don't have these boots, you can still play this build, but you're spending a lot of time, in my case, holding down right-click, summoning Volatile Zombies. Let's just chuck this point into... I don't even know. Doesn't really matter. I was really healed for... let's just do that one. Okay. Aura of Decay, we can see here nothing really exciting. Some additional larger effect. So we remember that this is all converted to fire now because of this. Minions with Aura of Decay deal more poison damage, more fire damage. Then we go into Summon Bow Golem, some really good damage output from these guys. Again, we're going into the Fire Pyromancer, Pyre Golem. Yeah, we do want the Twinned Golems. I do prefer it myself. I guess it's really not going to make or break. Yeah, some additional threat generation there is really helpful. I got 2 points. I'll just chuck in melee fire damage and that one there. Summon zombies. Now, summon volatile zombies. These are what put out most of your damage. We can see here that we're going into summoning speed, mana efficiency. Pretty important. Kinda. Pretty important, actually. Hit damage to bosses and rare. Pull of the grave. They kill enemies below a threshold of 16%. Now, Fervor, they deal more damage and have more movement speed. Let's put another point into that. Probably should put the last point in there as well. Explosion deals damage in a larger radius. You are healed for a portion of your zombie's maximum health when they explode. It does work really well. This pretty important. Vital Ward now grants board rather than health. So, you know, is that necessary in my build? I'm not sure. Let's think about that. Explosion has a chance to poison enemies, but because Flammable Vitae The explosions-based physical damage and vomits-based physical damage, physical and poison damage are converted to fire. So again, these are all converted to fire. Vomit is huge, okay? That's what's doing, I believe, most of our damage. And then we got Shade. Shade just buffs all our minions. So your minions' health are drained. Deal plus 10 necrotic damage with spells and attacks, and then have 50% increased necrotic damage. But I'm fire, so it increases their attack speed, so this is really what we're after. And damage plus 45% to... Really, really good. Okay, let's have a quick look at my inventory, my items. So, Bone Climber Barbute. Now, where this is really important is the 1 world per second per 3% uncapped necrotic resistance. So, my necrotic resistance is 247 uncapped. So, what's that? 1 ward per second per 3%. I don't even know. It's just too late in the afternoon to even be bothered calculating that. It's probably really simple. I apologize. Anyway, 100%, 112% increased mini and critical strike rating. Pretty good, pretty good. Death Rattle. Now, some other builds similar to this don't use the Death Rattle, but I personally like it. Just so much damage output. It can't be beat. Dragon Flame Edict. This is really important for this build. You've got increased minion fire damage. I've also put on 32% fire penetration. Then we got a bit of mana regen, which is not really what I wanted. It's kind of a waste. Also, the chance to ignite on minion hit is pretty important for this. We've got Aaron's Will. Again, I've gone for the minion critical strike chance. We've got 1 extra bone golem. Now, what I did have at one point when I was really trying to focus on survivability was I did swap it out with the Architects of Astral Blood, which of course means that I couldn't have the Tyrant Skull, because you can only have one of these primordial pieces on at once. And I think I got up to about 7,000 ward, or 6,500 ward, but I do prefer the Aaron's Will. Phantom Grip. Again, I've gone for minion damage. Plus 12% endurance is actually not too bad. Endurance reduces the damage dealt to your health below your endurance threshold. For example, if you have 50% endurance and an endurance threshold of 100, all damage dealt to your last 100 health will be reduced by 50%. There you go. Okay. Minion skills, that's pretty important. But main thing, the stats on your gloves apply to your forged weapons at 84%. Now, there was something else that applied it to my minions, but I can't remember what it was. Aha, it was the gloves. Wasn't it? Something applied it to my... I've lost the plot. The stats on your gloves apply to your forged weapons. Beats the hell out of me. Maybe Phantom Grip aren't the right one. I'll have to have a look at that. I'm not sure. Ash Wake, which is what makes this whole build viable. And then I've gone with a Tyrant Skull. I guess if I really wanted to, you could use an Ambitions. I don't think so. There's really nothing else you could use it with, is there? It's good for, I guess, ward retention. I guess if you really need more survivability, but then you lose those minion skills and it just won't be worth it. Oh, Brewmaster's Buckle. Really, really important. It's just such a good belt. Mostly for the amount of potion slots. 7 potion slots. 10% of max health gained as endurance threshold when you use a potion as well. So that's really, really good. Yeah, I could swap out these rings for maybe a cycle of Pusterance. Minion spell damage buff there. I guess I could use... Is that that's a catalyst? Wait a minute, what's that one going to? That's a relic, okay. Yeah, Steps of the Ring, I was also messing around with that instead. Oh, look at that. That's 322% increased minion damage. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Now, if we look at all of my idols up here, relics, what are they called? Idols? Yeah. They're mostly ward retention, fire, minion fire damage, and health. As you can see, this build puts out a lot of damage, So really, if my next upgrades are probably going to be my rings. I'm going to try to get a better ring that's only got 58% increased minion damage. Anyway, let's stop wasting time. I'm not very good at explaining this stuff, but I just go onto the Last Epoch builds website, find a build that I like, and just mess around with it. Off we go. Okay. So again, because of the Ash Wake, we can see that this is turned from green to red. Let's just get a few. Oh, look at that, we're so close. Where should we go? Need that one. Are there any that I've... Dungeon keys, let's go. So, as you can see, it's just mayhem. You see the zombies just running around, spewing fire on everything. Down a bit. Right now, all I'm focusing on is getting money. What am I at? 397,000. So I'm part of the Merchants Guild. What can I even put in here? Nothing. It's just insane, the amount of damage this build puts out. So I'm constantly pressing 1 as well, consuming my beers, because it gives me that endurance threshold buff. Look how many beers drop, it's just crazy. Keeping my eye on how many zombies I've got up, I can have up to 6. Making sure my Dread Shade is activated, because sometimes it just randomly turns off. I've really got to work on my... Oh. my filter because it's not set up properly. It eludes me. This is almost too easy. I used to always play the Wraith Lord build, but this is better. I did mess around with this build as well, swapping out Aura of Decay and going Skeleton Archers, Fire Archers, and it wasn't good because you also had to change out your Aaron's Will. And even though I love the idea of having a whole army of minions, it just didn't work. The damage sacrifice was way too much. See, look, my Aura of Decay's turned off and I don't even know why. I didn't do that. So we've got our 6 zombies. We've got our 5 skeleton mages, which are putting out crazy amounts of damage. I don't know how much my dinosaur's putting out. I haven't really looked. What was that sound? It eludes me. I feel like I'm a bit bored though, end game. I'm not sure really what I'm supposed to be doing other than trying to kill these Harbingers and whatever. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, so you can put those little ones in there. Aha. Reforge. Wait a minute. Is that going to change it? The fuck? What does Reforge do? It's the hell out of me. I don't care. Alright. Nothing of interest. Use your portal. Oh, ho, ho, ho. There was one point where I had no Temporal Sanctum keys, and then all of a sudden, in one map, I think maybe 15 dropped. Now, this is when you put this in here, and we fight the boss. Make sure we go. Dread Shade is up. Now what you can do is you can cycle E on and off. Again, constantly consuming beers. Alright. Relic. Ring. I'm just going to keep current from now. Simple. So if we look now, oh, look at all these things. So Highbringer, not done in any of these. Done. Let's go up here. So I wonder if there's anything I could really change in here. I don't know. Oh, let's use this. Ugh. Tired. Alright, what are we doing? Let's go to this one. Loading Nesting Grove. Oh, it's one of these ones. What the hell just happened there? I almost died. Wow, I was not expecting that. That was really my bad. I've gotten too complacent. Whatever. Let's do it again. Maybe I didn't have my aura on. This is why you really need to focus on health. Survivability. Void resistance is really low. Alright, keep going. That was so embarrassing. So good. It's just a lot of fun. If you're into summoner classes, this is the build. And there are probably sacrifices I could make if I really wanted to. I could swap out some of these increased damage modifications for health or health percentage, whatever I wanted to do. I chose not to. What have I got? Anything? Symbol of hope. Sand sweat. This is almost too easy. It's almost boring, to be honest. God, look how many. Wow, this is going to be so many lizards. Oh my god. Ah! Okay, this is crazy. The problem is none of this will be good. Won't be what I'm after. Throw on some shurikens. Oh my god, that was cool. Give me the squirrels. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's what I'm talking about. Holy frames. So often I'm just teleporting into the middle of packs.
Yes.
Oh my god. Just looking for items with 2 or 3 legendary potential, really? You know what? I'm gonna actually hold on to this one.
Take care.
Alright. Let's keep going.
Silence wakes.
Oh, there. I don't know. I don't like using the keys. Feels like a waste of time. What would be really cool is if I could change my potion into ward. Nah, that wouldn't work. Whoa! So casting spells. Whoa. L2. Glyph of Envy. Some guy said this game's pretty fire. This game is probably the best ARPG on the market, in my personal opinion. Path of Exile 2 is just too slow. done. Frenzy. Everything just melts. You're pretty tanky as well. Besides the fact I died earlier. You are pretty tanky. Right, let's go down here. Let's get the Nemesis. Let's chuck this in here. Alright, whatever. Let's go.
Yes.
What was that? Glyph of Envy. Changes the item's subtype to a different one with the same class requirements. I don't understand that. What the hell does that even mean?
Yes.
Oh.
Take care.
Let's do one more. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we did get this one, so probably chucked it into that one. Oh. Nearly up to 500,000 gold. Sounds like a lot, but it really is not. I do like these new additions, these omens. I can't even remember what these timeless fragments are for. Oh, that's right, you buy shit with them, don't you? Destroy both spires. F contains items. Thank you. That's a cool little warning. Just insane.
Yes.
Alright, so anyway, that's my little showcase. I will put the link to the build in the description. But hopefully that gives you some idea and you can have some fun with this build. Again, it's just mostly built around the Ashes Wake. You can change the weapons out. I was using at one point, I was using Reach of the Grave and this one here, Tolmat's Incorrect History of Eterra. I was doing that and it felt pretty similar. You can mess around with this build. You could use Ambitions of the Erased here, maybe for some more survivability. But then, yeah, you lose those minion skills, but you just melt things so quickly. I feel like a bit of a glass cannon at times. Again, if we look at my passives and stuff, it's all pretty stock standard. You're just trying to get as much survivability as you can, and then putting points into intelligence, vitality, the appropriate and applicable passives. And with our skills, there's no stock standard, you must do this for these builds. For this particular build. This Volatile Zombie, yes, okay, that really does need to be set in stone. But yeah, you can mess around with these, I think, try different points into different passives for these. Anyway, guys, hope you're all having fun. I love this game. This is probably my favorite ARPG in a very, very long time.